Hello everyone, welcome to Australia, welcome to Australian Book Travels, and welcome to our book recommendation, book harvest, bit of a chat. Now, just to let you know, I am videoing this on Sunday the 5th, I think it is today, and uploading it for you tomorrow, which is Monday the 6th. So happy Monday everyone, but I'm actually speaking to you from the past. I am going to try and do that a little bit more, I think, just to make it easier on myself so that I'm not under pressure to film and to have the video uploaded for you before 9 o'clock in the morning. So I hope, Happy New Year, that's a really big thing. I hope you've all had a wonderful New Year celebration and the time between Christmas and New Year. It's 2025. I cannot believe it. I feel as though the year 2000 has, that changeover New Year from 1999 to 2000 was not that long ago. And here we are 25 years later. It's crazy. But yes, I hope you've definitely had a lovely New Year celebration. Whether that be like us, we just sat in, watched a nice movie and went to bed early. And when we woke up in the morning, we almost forgot that it was a new year. But whether you've done that or whether you went out for tea, or if you were on your own and you had takeaway, or if you were with a group of friends or family and partying, we just hope that you've had a lovely time. A couple of things today. One very special thing, but first of all, what I will present a book recommendation to you. I have read a few books this week, not too many, just a couple, which is another thing I'd like to talk to you about, that the expectation of reading many books in 1 week. I see a lot and I hear a lot about people basically boasting, I guess, for want of a better term, that they're reading a lot of books in a week. And particularly on YouTube, there seems to be an expectation that, or a demand that people read a lot. And if you don't read a lot, then you're not really a book lover or a proper reader. And I totally disagree with that. I have tried to make it clear on this channel that if you read a paragraph a day, a paragraph a week, that it's just important to read. And it is important to read a novel of some sort, whether that be fiction, non-fiction, or whether you're reading a reference book, to read something like that, as well as your magazines and a newspaper or what have you. But it is important for your memory and for your stress level. Studies have shown that reading a fiction novel is actually better for your stress levels. But of course, for your memory and also for knowledge, it's important to read other books as well, and including novels. For your your vocabulary. That is really important as well, and for your pronunciation of words and things like that. So, and just an interest in, if you come across a word that you don't know, that you look it up in a dictionary, or preferably in a dictionary, but you can look it up and to determine what it means. So that's really important. But getting back to the real point, I want to just stress that this channel is not about how many books you read or how fast you're reading. Yes, I don't consider myself a fast reader. There are people a lot faster than I, but I don't consider that to be necessarily a good thing. I think it's important that you just read and that you enjoy the book that you're reading, the knowledge that you're consuming, or the story that you're involved in. That is more important above anything else. You must enjoy what you're reading. So please don't think if you haven't read that, 10 books in a week, or if you haven't read 100 books in the year, it doesn't matter. So long as you are reading and you are enjoying it, and that you also sometimes go out of your comfort zone in your reading. That's important. We all have to do that in life, in all facets of life, to go outside our comfort zone and read and enjoy and learn. That's really important. So I do want to stress that. I have seen that quite a lot lately on YouTube, where people are saying, oh, how many books I've read in 2024, and I'm a fast reader, and what about you? That is not what this channel is about. So I just want you to enjoy reading and to enjoy Australia and enjoy Australian authors, particularly all authors across the world, but in this case, particularly Australian authors. Anyway, just wanted to stress that point, because it disturbed me recently how often I have seen almost competition on YouTube, and even in conversations with people, how people determine whether you're a good reader or an honest reader, or a fast reader, by how many books you've read. I don't follow that philosophy, if it's a philosophy. I just don't follow that anyway. So I really wanted to say that. It's just so important, because people can be put off reading if they think that they're not a good reader, and they're not reading 8 novels, 10 novels a week. I don't always read that many in a week, particularly when you're working and you have household duties that you have to, attend to, or like us, we're on a farmlet and we have animals and we have property to attend to. We've fencing and trees that blow down in the wind, or over fencing, or you have to deal with neighbours, or you want to deal with neighbours. So that's life. That's what happens, and you cannot possibly read that many books when you are dealing with those other things in life. It is impossible. You would have to be extraordinary, and possibly in the Guinness Book of Records, if you were reading so many books in a week and also dealing with work, whether it be full-time or part-time, and you're dealing with a property, or you're dealing with family, or you're dealing with health issues. It's more important that you enjoy the reading. Okay, I think I've gone on about that long enough. This one book, as I say, I have read a couple this week, but this one book I really do want to present to you. I found it extremely interesting. Goggles, everyone, sorry. I hope they're shiny enough and not too foggy. I can see you, which is more important. This is Crew Train by Rose Macaulay. It's an oldie. It was written in the 1920s. Rose Macaulay, I think, was born in the 1880s, and I think she died in the 1950s, I think. Let me just see, because it may have in here... no, not at the back. No, I don't think it does. Oh, yes, it does. It may not say when she passed away, but I think it was in the 1940s or the 1950s that she passed away. It makes no difference to the book. The fact is, oh, there you go. It does say 1958. It's just once I get onto something, I really do want to know the answer. So sorry about that. Yes. So yes, she was. She was born in the 1881 and she died in 1958. In England, she was born in Warwickshire. She wrote this in, I think, 1921, and it is based in 1925, 1926 in England. Now, the reason why I wanted to present this to you is today and recommend it, I found it extremely interesting. It began quite strange, I thought. It is about a young girl whose mother has died very young. Her father has taken her to a foreign land. I'm not going to tell you all the details. As you know, I don't tell you everything, and I really try to keep it to a minimum so that you can discover this book yourself. But her father takes her, he's a vicar, and he takes her to a foreign land, and she grows up really rather wild and carefree, and there are no real strict social etiquettes as there was in England at the time. Subsequently, her father passes away, and she finds herself with distant relatives, or relatives who are distant to her, and they take her back to England. The story then goes on as she develops a relationship with a fellow, and that relationship develops. I don't want to go into it, as I say, but this is an extremely good look at people watching and understanding different people. There was a little bit of frustration in this for me because the people were so, even though that it was possibly a little bit of what may have seemed to be an exaggeration of different characteristics of people, it's really not. I know and have known people who have presented themselves the way Rose Macaulay has presented some of the characters in this book. Manipulative, disgracefully gossipy, and to the detriment of others. And so Rose presents those people, I think, as I say, I think perhaps she may have tried to do it in a little bit of a comical way, perhaps, so as not to be too realistic or perhaps offensive. I'm not too sure. That's how it comes across a little bit. It just seems to be a little bit exaggerated. But in reality, there are people like this there are people like the characters in this book who are manipulative and dangerous and destructive. So I found this extremely interesting. At first it was a little slow, or I thought it was a little slow, but it really was about setting up the story and setting it up properly so that the reader understood what was about to develop. I enjoyed this in a strange way because, as I say, I did become frustrated and a little bit, because I have known people and do know people like the characters in the book, it became perhaps a little too realistic and really quite almost a little disempowering in a way, because I thought, oh no, I know what's about to happen. I know what they're doing, and it is really horrible, and it's a nasty thing to do. So, and I've known people like this, and I do know people like this. So, yeah, it was really interesting, and I thought I would particularly present this to you because I think a lot of you would enjoy this in a funny way. I'm not saying that I enjoyed it where I was in raptures and life-changing and I was happy when I left the book, but I wasn't unhappy. It just made me think, yes, Rose Macaulay was definitely a people watcher. She knew people about the different characteristics in people and how they blend and how they rub against each other. So I found it intriguing and definitely a must-read. I have to say it's definitely a must-read. Now, this is by Virgo and was originally, as I say, published, I think, in... Oh no, it must have been 1926. Yes, first published in 1926, and it's set in 1925-26. This edition was published in 2018 by Virago. Did I say that? Virago? This is paperback. I really love the cover. I love those sort of, those fairly retro painting type covers. So this is, Virago Modern Classic. I recommend it. Don't expect a really feel good or a uplifting, but it's not, it won't bring you down either. It's just a really intriguing, interesting people, exploring people's characteristics and watching them. It's very interesting. So all up, it is 277 pages. I recommend it. Maybe if you're not into understanding people's characteristics or how they can be detrimental or how they can impact on other people's lives, then it may not be the novel for you. It is a love story, by the way, but it's an unusual love story. It's not a comfy, cozy, feel-good. It could have been, and Rose Macaulay shows you that it could be, that the people are happy, but other people come in and can be quite destructive in friendships, in love relationships, in all sorts of relationships. So I found this, a must read, very intriguing, and I recommend it. The Crew Train, Rose Macaulay. So that's that one, everyone. Now, what I really have to show you, I have to apologise because I opened it up before today. Because I couldn't wait. I was excited and I did want to check that everything was here, that there were no super surprises, like horrible surprises, in that, things had been damaged or anything like that. And I was too excited. I really needed to open it. But quite a few weeks ago, and also for the book competition last year. So I may have first mentioned this particular bookshop in perhaps November, maybe. This box of books I have purchased from a shop, a lovely, really beautiful shop in England. It is Tea Leaves and Reads. Kathryn and William are the owners. I think they were an online shop, and now they have, I think this last year have become, like the last year, 2024, they have become a physical bookshop, a beautiful bookshop, absolutely beautiful. Now, when we had the book competition, one bookshop in England let me down, and they were no longer communicating and obviously had more important things to do. But when one of the competition winners in England told me about Tea Leaves and Reads, because if you have only just joined the channel, the competition last year, we made sure that there were 2 winners in the Northern Hemisphere and 2 in the Southern Hemisphere, and we were organising independent bookshops to supply those to the 4 winners. And in the Northern Hemisphere, we chose a bookshop. They let me down. And one of the winners then suggested, well, I have a bookshop near me. It's Tea Leaves and Reads. And I'm sure they'll, if you get onto them, they'll help you. And help me, they did. You could not get better customer service than Kathryn and William at Tea Leaves and Reads. I will put their address in the description box below, if not in the subtitles here, so that if you cannot access the description box below, at least you'll have it in the subtitles. They are, you just couldn't get better customer service, beautiful books. They have, by the way, they do have an online newsletter. Anyone in the world, you can subscribe. It is for free, and they send you a newsletter. I think it is monthly, or I'm fairly sure it's monthly, but nevertheless, it's regular. And interesting. It is absolutely packed with books and book ideas and authors, and it's probably one of the better newsletters that I've ever received, and really beautifully set up, really beautifully structured. It was a delight to read. I really wish that we could have it in paper form, because I'd be inclined to keep them. They're really informative. But also, Kathryn and William organise online parties. So early December, late November, I think. I was, you may have seen it, I was at an online Zoom meeting with authors and other customers of Tea Leaves and Reads, and William was the administrator of the, he organised all of well, he was a master of ceremony, I guess you could say. He introduced all of the authors, and the authors were interviewing each other, and it was just fantastic. It was really good. I think it was their winter party or something they called it, but it was fantastic. Anyway, as a result of that, I bought the winner, one of the winners in the Northern Hemisphere, books from Tea Leaves and Reads. And because when I had a look on the site, Tea Leaves and Reads had a number of books on sale. And generally the books in England are cheaper than Australia, but they're not cheaper if you only buy 1 or 2 books, because the post is exorbitant. Like everywhere, I send things overseas, and I'm actually shocked at how much it costs just to send a book or a couple of books, or even a letter sometimes. It's just really expensive. So I don't recommend buying 1 or 2 books. What I did from Tea Leaves and Reads is I bought a box of books to make it really worthwhile. So by the time I calculated the post, it was really, they were actually still cheaper or equivalent to what we would pay here. Now, as you know, I always do advocate buying from your local bookshop, but there are occasions when, I just believe in supporting all independent bookshops across the world. I won't mention large company names, but there are large online companies who sell lots of things, including books, and I refuse to buy from them. If an author has a book, and they'll say, I may ask, well, where can I buy your book? And they'll say, this particular online company, I won't buy the book. If it's these particular large, huge online organisations, I won't buy from them. I will only buy from local and or independent bookshops. So that is why I bought from Tea Leaves and Reads, because first and foremost, it's about independent bookshops. Secondly, it is about buying local from your local bookshops. And I did buy books here that either I can't get. I did buy books from Tea Leaves and Reads that either I can't get locally, or I thought at the time I couldn't buy locally, or that weren't available locally. So, yeah, I'm so excited to show you. Okay, first of all, here's the box of books. I don't know if you can see it, but it's big, and Kathryn absolutely, when I opened up the box, I just couldn't wait. And when I opened up the box, all the books were wrapped in groups of 4. I think I bought 11 or 12 books. I may have bought 11 books, and Kathryn actually gave me a book. So I'll explain that in a minute. But they were all wrapped in this beautiful tissue paper. So in groups of about 4 or 5 books, they're all wrapped in that. And along the way, Kathryn has sent me a beautiful postcard with a thank you on the back. It's just, "Dear Cheryl, thank you so much for all your support and your amazing order. I hope you enjoy all of these titles, Kathryn." And this is a picture of the bookshop. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, here is this is their business card, and I'll show you the back so that you can see is that right? No, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yes, that's it. That's the right way up. So there's another, this must be their business card, and there are all the details of how to contact them. but I'll put it in there either in the subtitles and or the description box below. So I received those, and then they very kindly, this is beautiful, they very kindly sent me 4 beautiful bookmarks. One is from the bookshop and of the bookshop itself. I think Kathryn and William may make these, but I could be wrong. Perhaps they have them made. So that's a business card / bookmark. And this is the book that they sent me as a gift. This is The Secret Christmas Bookshop. That's another with Tea Leaves and Reads details on the back with a beautiful fringe with a beautiful tassel on. And this is Take the New Year 1 page at a time. Again, with Tea Leaves and Reads on the back. And I received 2 of those. So I may actually give one of those away, if that's all right, by Kathryn. I may, because I have 2, I don't want to be greedy, and I may give this away to one of you. So I will, we may make that a little competition with a book, perhaps. But anyway, so I thought that was really lovely. As I say, exceptional customer service. When you email them, given the time zone, they get back to you immediately. Sometimes I'm shocked at how quickly Kathryn gets back to me. But she's always in communication and she will always respond. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this bookshop. Okay, so the books I bought. Woo, now some of these are on special and some of them I just bought off their normal inventory. This is The Letter by Kathryn Hughes. This is Discover a Novel That Has Broken 1,000 Hearts. Tina Craig works all the hours she can and volunteers in a charity shop to avoid her unhappy home. Going through the pockets of a second-hand suit, she comes across an old letter, the envelope firmly sealed and unfranked. Tina opens the letter and reads it, a decision that will alter the course of her life forever. Now, I think this is set in the 1930s. At some point, yes, I think it goes back to the 1930s. So that's The Letter by Kathryn Hughes. Now, I've chosen all of these deliberately. I was very careful what I chose, so I'm very, very excited. Okay, this is Maud Horton's Glorious Revenge by Lizzie Pook. Now, all of these, I think, were published last year or thereabouts. And I think one of them said, when I had a look, one of them said that it was published this year, which can't possibly be, but for some reason they had 2025 written on it. Yeah, so anyway, this is so if I don't really give you any other indication, I think all of these books were published in 2024. I may have to correct myself, but I'm fairly sure. Okay, so this one is London, 1850. Constance Horton has disappeared and her sister Maud is determined to find out what's happened. Constance disguised herself as a boy and boarded a ship bound for the Arctic. But when the ship returns without her, the truth about her fate is buried by sinister forces. To find answers and deliver justice for her sister, Maud must step into London's dark underbelly and into the path of ruthless, powerful men. I can't wait. I'm really excited. So that is Maud Horton's Glorious Revenge. Vengeance is Bittersweet. Lizzie Pook. Lizzie Pook, not pork. Oh, maybe I need better glasses. That's Lizzie Pook. Okay, well, this one I was very excited about. This is The Peculiar Garden of Harriet Hunt by Chelsea Iverson. This is True Magic is found among the bluebells and brambles. Harriet Hunt is completely alone. Her father disappeared months ago, leaving her to wander the hills of Sunnyside House, dwelling on a past she'd rather keep buried. She doesn't often venture beyond her front gate, instead relishing the feel of dirt under her fingernails and soft moss beneath her feet. It's a bit like me. Consequently, she is being deemed a little too peculiar for popular Victorian society. This solitary life suits her fine though, because outside magic awaits. Harriet's garden is special. It's a wild place full of twisting ivy, vibrant plums, and a quiet power that buzzes like bees. Caring for this place and keeping it from running rampant through the streets of her London suburb is Harriet's purpose. So I can't wait to read that. That's exciting. And this one, I don't know actually if this, I think this one may have been 2023 from memory. No, it's, first published in Great Britain in 2023. Oh, that's actually not a bad memory because I went through this on Friday. So this was delivered to me on Friday. And by the way, the delivery was really quick. I contacted Kathryn to let her know that I'd received the delivery. And considering it was over Christmas, I think it didn't take 2 weeks or thereabouts. So that's fairly impressive from both the Royal Mail in England and Australia Post. This one is Finchade by Kate Griffin. This is on the day of her beloved grandmother's funeral. Marta discovers that she is to become governess to the young daughter of Sir William Pritchard. Separated from her lover and discarded by her family, Marta has no choice but to journey to Pritchard's ancient and crumbling house, Finchade, in the wilds of Derbyshire. So I'm very excited. Actually, you can't see, but Flynn the cat is just sitting here. I'll move the camera in a minute. It's so hot, everyone. The weather has just been really, we're in the high 30s, early 40s. It's only early on Sunday morning and we're already perspiring. And poor Flynn is sitting, actually I might try and turn the camera just for a minute. Let's see if this works. I'll just turn you around. I'm not sure if you can see him there. So, oops, I'll bring you back to me. I hope that works. Okay, let's be quick about this. So, wrapped in beautiful tissue paper. The next lot of books, some of these are for Christmas, so I will not read them until next Christmas. This is Brightly Shining by Ingvild Arushu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I clearly am not. But this is Wanted, Christmas Tree Seller, You Are Conscientious, Responsible, Outdoorsy. So it's a Christmas novel. It has been translated by Caroline Waite. She's a literary translator working from Danish, German and Norwegian. And Ingvild is from Norway. So I'm looking forward to that, but I will keep that for this coming Christmas. Okay, the next one is Made of Steel by Kate Baker. And it's 1911, and against her mother's wishes, quiet New Yorker Emma dreams of winning the right to vote. She is sent away by her parents in the hope distance will curb her desire to be involved with the growing suffrage movement, and told to spend time learning about where her grandparents came from. Very interested. I love historical fiction. I do love Golden Age crime classics. And that sort of, even if they're written today, I still enjoy that feel of the Golden Age crime classics and historical fiction, as you can see by what I've chosen. Okay, this is The Midnight Hour by Eve Chase. I think I have seen this recently in Australia, but it doesn't matter. We've purchased it now, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I purchased it from Tea Leaves and Reads. Okay, this one is Present Day Paris. Maggie Parker receives a call. The new owners of her family's old Notting Hill home are digging up the basement. They've no idea what lie beneath. London, 21 years earlier, teenage Maggie, babysitting her little brother, waits in vain for her mother to come home after a night out. Seeking clues to her mother's mysterious disappearance, she's drawn away from the neighbourhood's grand terraces and into its hustling back streets and the arms of someone else living on their wits. What I love about these books too, a lot of books now, whether they're published in Australia or they are Australian, or if they're English or European, the covers are absolutely beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I love the Art Deco. I do love Art Deco. I love the Art Deco work on this one. I mean, look at them. They're just stunning. They really are to be admired. They're beautiful. Okay, this is another one by Kathryn Hughes. This is The Key. Remember, we just saw The Letter. It's time to discover what a million readers already know. No one gripped your heart like Kathryn Hughes. This is 1956. It is Ellen Crosby's first day as a student nurse at Ambergate Hospital when she meets a young woman admitted by her father. Little does Ellen know that a choice she will make is to change both their lives forever. 2006, Sarah is drawn to the now abandoned Ambergate. Whilst exploring the old corridors, she discovers a suitcase belonging to a female patient who entered Ambergate 50 years earlier. I won't go on, but that is another one from Kathryn Hughes, so I'm very excited. Now, this is the one that Kathryn slipped in for me, and I really appreciate it. It was very naughty, but she slipped it in. This is Cressida McLaughlin's The Secret Christmas Bookshop. Now, I think, again, I think all of them, apart from one, was 2024. I'm sure that, yes, this was first published in 2024. In a village by the sea where wintry skies bring a dusting of sparkling snow, somebody is opening an unexpected gift. When Sophie receives a surprise package, she's intrigued to find a beautifully bound book inside. Just the ticket for all of us, book lovers. Sophie is desperate to discover the mystery sender, and her hunt draws her to the enigmatic Harry. And so it goes on. I really love the cover, but this is one for this coming Christmas. I will not read it until then. And thank you to Kathryn and William, Tea Leaves and Reads, for giving me that book. Absolutely beautiful. It was unwarranted, but absolutely beautiful. It will be treasured. Okay, the next one that we've just come to the last three now, The Secrets of Blytheswood Square by Sarah Sheridan. She was also the author of The Fair Botanist. This is 1846, Glasgow, when Charlotte Nichol discovers that the fortune she has been bequeathed by her father is tied up in a secret collection of erotic art. She is faced with a terrible dilemma: sell it and risk shaming her family's good name, or lose her home. Again, beautiful covers. These are just absolutely stunning. Historical fiction with history. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. I'm really looking forward to this one, everyone. Really looking forward to it. This is Barbara Havelock. Again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing. This is Estella's Revenge. This is Estella from Great Expectations, which you all know, or if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will know that Charles Dickens is my favourite author. Great Expectations has to be my favourite novel of all time. And this is a novel about Estella, who was Miss Havisham's quasi-daughter, and really not necessarily an experiment, but she was under the powers, I guess, and the authority of Miss Havisham in Great Expectations, much to everyone's detriment. This is, Miss Havisham, the world's most famous jilted bride. This is her daughter's story. Raised in the darkness of Satis house where the clocks never tick, the beautiful Estella is bred to hate men and keep her heart cold as the grave. She knows she doesn't feel things quite like other people do, but is this just the result of her strange upbringing? As she watches the brutal treatment of women around her, hatred hardens into a core of vengeance, and when she finds herself married to the abusive Drummle, she is forced to make a deadly choice. Should she embrace the darkness within her and exact her revenge? I can't wait, everyone. This is really going to be exciting. So, that's wonderful. And the last one, which was the first one that I ordered from Tea Leaves and Reads, I had it in the list of order in the little shopping cart, is The Peach Keeper by Sarah Addison Allen. This is Welcome to the Walls of Water, North Carolina, where secrets are thicker than the town's famous fog. Once upon a time, Willow Jackson's family owned the beautiful house on top of the ridge. Now it symbolises her family's ruin and a legacy Willow longs to escape from. Paxton Osgood also yearns to break free, especially from her parents' expectations and the heartbreak of unrequited love. Desperate for a distraction, she decides to restore the empty mansion to its former glory. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this. I've heard that I don't think I've read any of Sarah Addison Allen's before, Or have I? No, I don't. I'm fairly sure I haven't. It doesn't have on here any of her other novel. Oh, yes, it does. The Girl Who Chased the Moon, The Sugar Queen, and Garden Spells. I don't think I have, but I'm very, very excited to be reading this one. So that will keep me busy for quite some time, everyone. If any of those interest you, definitely go to your local bookshop or your local library. But if you're wanting to buy them, as I love buying my books, definitely your local or at least an independent bookshop anywhere around the world to support the local bookkeepers and booksellers. Yeah, it's really important. So I'm really excited. I'll let you know as I read them. I will let you know. It will take me some time because I do have other books that I must read first. And of course, some of them I will keep for Christmas. But I will let you know as we go along. As this year progresses, I will definitely tell you how good they are and what I enjoy about them. Okay, everyone. Flynn is still here, absolutely flaked out on the footstool. It is warm. It's getting warmer. It is overcast today, thankfully, but that tends to lock in the heat as well. So I think we are expecting rain tomorrow, which is your today, Monday. But we never, even though we watch the weather every day, we watch it on a particular app on our phones for this area. We have to, so that we know what's going on for the farm, so that we know what's happening with the animals and the growth of the grass and any crops that we have. But and also just for our own comfort, so that we know how to manage the bees and the chickens and things. So, that is one thing I wanted to tell you. Unfortunately, last week I showed you a little chick that had been badly. When she hatched, she had been attacked by the other hens. Unfortunately, she did pass away, and in the clutch of about 20 eggs, we have had a couple of them attacked by one of the hens, and in fact by the sitting hen, actually, not by any of the other hens, but by the sitting hen. And we have lost a couple of little chicks. We have one at the moment being I saved it. It was half hatched, so I took it out immediately. We check every day now under the hen, and we take any egg / hatching chicken out. Apologies, everyone. The camera, it is so hot, and I didn't have the fan running, the ceiling fan. It is so hot. The camera overheated, and when it overheats, it automatically cuts off. So, as you know, I don't like to edit these book recommendations, but I did have to wait for the camera. I waited about half an hour for the camera to cool down, and so I will make this next little bit quick before it shuts down again. So, although I do have the ceiling fan, you may be able to hear it. I decided it was probably better to have the ceiling fan to cool the air a little bit so that the camera doesn't shut down again. Where was I? Oh yes, the chickens. So we've had a few disasters. We had 2 hens laying on a clutch of about 20 eggs. The first hen is a brilliant mother. She took 3 of the chickens when they hatched. She's taken them away from the other hen. This hen that is currently sitting on the eggs is a disaster. She's a shocking mother. She has inadvertently killed a few of the chicks. We did have last week, I showed you one of the little chickens. It was terribly undeveloped and may have had a neurological problem. It subsequently passed away. We've had another 3 or 4, I think, chicks pass away. So Mark and I decided that we check every few hours under the hen. If we see any of the eggs starting to hatch, we bring them inside. And so when we did that about 3 days ago, the chick was just starting to hatch. We brought it in here in a little box, and it hatched, and it is alive and well and doing well. It is eating and drinking on its own. In fact, it's quite bolshy. It has more front than mire. It gives you a jolly good old pecking and got a bit, it has a little bit of attitude, which is lovely to see. The others that we tried to save were definitely underdeveloped, and they were unwell. They weren't even opening their eyes or anything. It was really, or they were occasionally opening their eyes, and they just weren't looking right. But this one, definitely, it's doing really, really well. So we're very excited. So there's another 5 or so eggs under this terrible mum. So what we're doing, we're checking every few hours, and if we see or hear the eggs, the chicks starting to hatch, we have decided that we're going to take them away, as we did with this one, and hopefully we'll have more success at being mothers than mother hen. She's terrible. She's the worst. I mean, she's trying her best, but she's trampling them and just doing really silly things. But anyway, so that's the hen. That's the story about the hen. This little one is black. The one that I had that passed away last week, that was yellow, which would have been an Araucana, a little grey, sort of purpley violet sort of colour. But this one is really black. So it will be interesting to see, because the father is an Araucana and the hen is a white, she's a, what is she? A leghorn. Is that right? I'm not quite sure actually what breed she is, because we did save a number of them from an egg farm. And so they're really sort of crossbreds, really. But she's lovely. They're really good chickens. One or two of them are actually about 10 years old. The Araucana mother is 10 years old. So but she still lays eggs, and she's lovely. She's a really lovely pet. Anyway, that's enough about the chickens. We have the whole year ahead of us. Very exciting, everyone. We are traveling. We will be doing our book recommendations. There will be some changes on the channel. You may have noticed on the travel video this last Saturday, yesterday for me, 2 days ago for you, we uploaded that in 4K, which is a better resolution for bigger televisions. Unfortunately, though, by the time I edited it and what we call exported the video to make it a video and then uploaded it on the channel, it took nearly 2 days in 4K. I film in 4K, but I don't always export and upload in 4K. And it's just here, because we're wireless, we're not wired into the NBN system or the internet system. I'm really not quite sure how it all works, but because we're not wired in, it takes us a lot longer to export and upload videos and to synchronize them, the video and the audio. So all of those things take a lot longer. So I've decided, that was an experiment last Saturday, but this last Saturday, yesterday for me, 2 days ago for you, but it's just taking too long to upload. So even though it's a better resolution on a bigger channel, on a bigger television, we just have to go back to the old way, because we can't afford 2 days of just of the computer just constantly running, which may also sort of eat into our data, our internet data. So it was an experiment. We thought we would try it. We thought that it may actually encourage people to watch it. It really hasn't encouraged any more people to watch, any more extraordinary than usual. So for what it takes in workload, I think we'll just go back to the old way. Which brings me also to thanking you all. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. Please comment. We love really interacting with you. We love to know who you are and whether you like what you're seeing, or whether the videos resonate with you, whether they're book recommendations or the travel videos. We like to hear your feedback, and we love interacting with you. So I always, normally within 48 hours, more often than not, it's within 12 to 24 hours I respond to you. I like to keep the responses as quick as possible, so that you can see them and they don't get lost in the ether, into the internet world. So I try and do that as quickly as possible, but certainly no more than 48 hours, depending if I'm away or doing something. Sometimes I will miss a day in getting back to you, but I do my best not to. So yes, we love hearing from you. We love your comments. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed so far. We now have over 1,200 subscribers, which is exciting. We do want more. So if you can, please encourage friends, family, neighbours, aunties, uncles, nana, granddad, if you can, definitely, and daughters and sons and anybody that you think will like what this channel represents and what it shows, which is the travelling around Australian country towns looking for bookshops, libraries and street free libraries, and just giving you a little bit of history and a little bit of greenery and showing you the real Australia. And of course the book recommendations. We do book harvest, book recommendations. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a chat. But yeah, so if you know anybody who would like the channel, please do share it with them. We'd appreciate that. And then it helps us bring more content to you in the long run. Okay, everyone. So Tea Leaves and Reads, I will give you their details in the description box below, or I will try and do it in the subtitles here. And that will then, as I say, it is cheaper, or just as it's cost effective really, to buy a box of books than one or two books. If you're in Australia buying from England and vice versa, if you want to buy from a bookshop overseas, if you only want one or two books, perhaps the idea of getting some friends and family together, and if you all have a look on the website for the different bookshops, and if you all decide that yes, I'd like a book here or a book there, and before you know it, a few of you may actually have 12 books or 50 books or whatever, and then the post is actually cheaper doing it that way. I think it goes up. I know from Australia overseas, and I know when I was speaking to Kathryn as well, so from England to here, it goes up the postage goes up incrementally in weight. So it's no matter the weight, say up to a kilo, you're paying the same post. So if you're buying, a book that's 250 grams, or if you're buying a few books that add up to a kilo, you're paying the same post. So too, it then goes up from 1 kilo to 3 kilo, and 3 to 4 to 3 to 7, or it works something like that. I think once it gets to about 10 or 12 kilo, you cannot send it through the post then. Do check in your country how that works, but I know here in Australia, I think it may be 15 or kilo, or I don't think I've had anything 20 kilos sent to me. I'm just thinking with the bees, sometimes I've bought food for them in a time of drought, and I don't think that was 20 kilos. So there's a cut-off, certainly, of weight that you can send through the post. But do check with your country and your local post office as to how that goes. And also the bookshop, as to whether they will send it to you, and perhaps you can work out with them the best way to send the books. But certainly if you wanted a book from overseas, the best way is to perhaps either buy a lot of books yourself from that one bookshop, or have family and friends order a book here and a book there, or one person may order 3 or 4, and then before you know it, you're sharing the cost and of post, and buying your own books but sharing the cost of the post, and it just makes it so much easier and so much cheaper. Yes, so Tea Leaves and Reads, absolutely love them. Thank you, Kathryn and William. You were wonderful. I look forward to buying from Tea Leaves and Reads in the future. I have already spoken to Kathryn about them supplying. I will buy and they will supply books for the next book competition. Definitely the next book competition will be in October. There may be one before then, but we'll just have to work out how that works. If the more subscribers we have, the more people viewing the videos, it just makes it more likely that we will have a number of book competitions throughout the year, as opposed to just the one. So by having more subscribers and more viewers, more people watching, we can then, any money that we make off the channel, we can then put it back into giving it back to you in the form of book competitions and things like that. So the more we get, the better it is. Okay, everyone, really excited. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Let's make this a good one. Let's do this together. You've been with me so far for this last 13 months on this channel. I really appreciate all your support, all your comments. It's wonderful. It's exciting. And we've got the next year to go. It's so good. And hopefully each year we'll just get bigger and bigger and better. And it's a great community. I'm loving talking to you all. There is one thing. I won't go into details because I have actually thanked them privately, but two of you, one was my pen pal and another viewer, you sent me beautiful Christmas gifts, and you sent Mark as well. We really appreciate it. You don't have to do that. We're not asking that of you. We just want you to watch and like and subscribe and share. But thank you. It was beautiful to open up your lovely gifts, handmade, hand sought, bought by you for us. It was absolutely beautiful. What a wonderful community you all are. So thank you. Okay, everyone, the dogs are flat out in the kitchen, in the cooler part of the house. Flynn has now run off, and I am going to run off too. I'm going to edit this video, get it up for you for tomorrow, and then I'm going to stay cool for the rest of the day. We're expecting nearly 40 degrees today, and it feels like it's that already. So I will go. I will leave you and enjoy your week. Hopefully we'll see you at the next travel video, otherwise the next book recommendation. Okay, everyone, take care. Happy reading, safe travels, eat well, take care. Bye for now.